Welcome, you guys. Welcome back to Plastic Fantastic, and I'm Jeremy, as you guys know. And you know what? California's opening up, and I kind of had this thought that as I was taking my shoes out of my climbing bag, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to go back to the gym again, that you guys might be feeling the same way. That you guys are feeling like, I'm excited to go back to the gym. And you know what? I would love to start off the new season with a brand new pair of shoes, and you're looking at your old shoes and you're going, oh, you know what? Like, my old shoes actually need to be updated. So maybe you guys are thinking about going into an aggressive shoe. And if you are, I ended up going to Evolv. They gave me their aggressive shoe lineup. So thank you, Evolv. I really appreciate it. And I think somewhere around here I'm supposed to say that I'm not getting paid for this, but you know, let it be known, I did get them for free, so I'm very appreciative of them kind of believing in what Plastic Fantastic does. And so why don't we kind of go through the lineup? I'm gonna put them on, and I'm going to verbally kind of tell you what I feel as I put them on, because maybe that's going to help you guys. Maybe you guys are going to feel like what I have to say as I'm putting them on may help you in trying to figure out like which shoe is going to be for you. So that being said, let's you know what? Let's start with what I'm using now. So what I'm using now are the Evolv Oracles, and they are 100% my favorite go-to shoe. Let me go check what time it is. And because they're my favorite go-to shoe, let's put them on. Let's see what they feel like. You know what? I love these shoes. These shoes are fantastic. So the thing that I feel when I'm in them is, first, I go in them and my toes kind of go directly towards the front of the shoe and they naturally curve down, which is awesome because that's what you want. When you pick an aggressive shoe, what makes them aggressive is kind of like this kind of arc that the shoe has. So I've been using these and they're kind of flat now. But that being said, your toes should go towards the very end and they should naturally curve down. Well, not naturally, but they curve down. And then another thing that I feel is that they are wide enough for my foot. So I have a medium wide foot. So not a medium foot, not like a super wide kind of like hobbit foot, but you know, like a medium wide. And so these fit perfectly for that. So as I'm tying them, the next thing I'm feeling is that they feel super good on the top of my foot. So around the midsection, they fall completely flat. I appreciate that the tongue is A, super cushy, so it's like a cushy thing, but B, the other thing is that they're split. So the great thing about that I love is that when I put the shoe on, I just kind of open them up, and then when I open them up, I just kind of slide my foot in, and that makes it really easy for me to put the shoes on. So I love that, I appreciate that. And again, as I pull them on tight, I feel like the lacing system brings the whole top of the shoe on top of the top of my midfoot. And that's the next thing I'm feeling. So first off, my toes naturally bend in the front. It's wide enough for me. And then the second thing is that they feel super awesome on top. They feel like all the fabric and the laces and everything just lay perfectly on top of my shoe, on top of my foot, my midfoot. What's the other thing that I feel? I feel really, really good about the arches. The arches feel great. I love that I feel like there's arch support. I love the fact that the oracles have something called an FSS system. And what that is that on on one side they have this drawstring like system here, and then on this other side, and what that does is that it's basically a tightening system that starts at the bottom, and then when you pull the laces, it essentially pulls and wraps the shoe around your midfoot. And I love that because it gives me like a little bit of extra arch support, and then on top of the little extra arch support, it gives me like the security of me feeling like the shoe is on me. And I bet the other great thing about that is that since this is super snug and since it feels like it's my second skin, I definitely feel like the shoe isn't going to come off. And because it's pulling from the bottom up and around my foot, I bet that is better for my heel. And to be honest, like my heel is fitting directly in the heel cup. I have a medium heel, and it's not too big, it's not too skinny, but I feel like the heel fits perfectly within the shoe's heel cup and the heel counter. And it's not super loose, there's no air pockets in there. There's obviously like a little bit of dead space right in here, which makes sense because my heel obviously is rounded, and if it's rounded here and then the shoe comes straight down like this, there's gonna be like that little dead spot that's gonna be right there. But I don't feel like it's gonna pop off. I don't feel like while I'm doing a heel hook like it's gonna tear off my foot as I'm doing that heel hook. And it feels great. Like they are, and I've said this, and if you watch the Oracle review that the team did, I said that this was the most comfortable shoe that had the most high performance combined. I just think that it is, for me, fits my foot perfect. And I think that's what you guys should look for. You guys should look for a shoe that is really comfortable and fits your foot, and you feel like you're not trying to fight the shoe just for it to be on your foot, because you're gonna be in the shoe for, I don't know how long your shoes last you, but the great thing that I love about Evolv shoes is that they tend to last me 6 months. 6 to 8 months is my average. And you know, you're gonna be in that shoe for 6 months, and like these shoes are $180, you know, for 6 months worth of wear. You know, you kind of want to feel like you're getting your money's worth. So, you know, don't try to fit your foot into something really uncomfortable, you know, and don't do that for the sacrifice of not comfort, but don't do it for the sacrifice of performance, because I feel like these perform really, really high, but yet they feel super, super comfortable. So these are my favorite shoes. These are the Evolv Oracles, and I feel like for me that they are awesome, that they're the best thing. So so this is what we're starting off with. We're starting off with that. Our next shoe, let's go to our next shoe. And our next shoe should be you know, let's just go from the top. Our next shoe will be the Shamans. Now, I've got to tell you that if you were to watch our review on this, the thing that I said about them is the same thing that I said about the Oracles, which is they are the best performing shoe that I have ever put on that I thought was super, super comfortable. And And in reality, they are. They are exactly that. And you know what? These shoes came before the oracles. So all the technology that came from this got handed over to the oracles. So it makes sense that I would say that the same thing about the shamans and the oracles. As a matter of fact, I would say that if you were going to go from a flat shoe, like let's say a La Sportiva Tarantulas or an Evolv Kronos, which I have a pair here, if you were going to go from that shoe, like a flat shoe, or maybe like a 5'10", like moccasin, like if you were going to go from that shoe and you wanted to try on your first aggressive shoe and you wanted to make that transition because now you find that you're doing harder climbs and you're doing harder bouldering problems, and the bouldering problems that you're on are overhung and you kind of need the aggressive nature of that shoe, of a new shoe to make that happen, I would highly recommend that you try on the Shamans, because I think the Shamans are that shoe. They are the kind of like the gateway shoe that you can purchase and buy and that you can use to like break into the like aggressive market for a shoe, like the aggressive shoe. Like it can be your aggressive shoe gateway shoe. So I highly recommend that. Like that long pause, I had to think there for a second. I think that the power of this shoe, like the thing that makes this shoe important within the like a list of climbing shoes, is that when the shoe came out, it was touted by everybody, it won awards, it was touted by everybody as being ultra comfortable but ultra high performing. And before the Shamans, before this version of the Shamans, it just didn't happen. Like, you really did have to sacrifice comfort for high performance, and this was the shoe that made that happen. I sound like I'm pitching it and not really doing the thing which I should be doing, which is trying the shoes on. And I don't have a name for this, so why don't we call the thing that I'm doing the Evolv Aggressive Shoe Try On Verbal Demo, because you guys get to hear what I have to say as I'm like slipping them into my foot. That sounds like a great name. All right, let's do that. Let me run to the bathroom first. And I'm keeping a clock so I can check my times of how long I'll talk, because I can just talk forever, as you guys know. Alrighty, I'm back. What is that? It's hair. If you see like little tiny pieces of glitter or sequins on my foot as I'm trying them on, I'm really sorry. I had a fashion photo shoot and the models came here to like hang out and whatever, and now I'm finding glitter and sequins all over my place, and obviously hair, because I obviously don't have any. Also, side note, I put chia seeds in my protein shake because I just got back from the gym. If I have chia seeds in my mouth, I'm sorry about that too. All right, so what was I doing? What was I saying? Oh, we were gonna try on shoes. All right, so let's try on some shoes. Oh, money. So money. I love these shoes. And again, super duper comfortable, very, very comfortable shoes. The first thing that I feel when I put them in is that my foot goes directly into the front of the toe box, and because of the love bump that's inside there, so one of the technologies that Evolv did was they created something called the love bump in the shoe, and what that does is that it helps you properly place your toes in the front of the shoe, the toe box, so your toes are naturally pointing down. And for an aggressive shoe, that's kind of what you want. You kind of want that thing where your toes are pointing down. It's wide enough. I don't feel any rubbing. So the top of the shoe has the knuckle box, and what the knuckle box is that it, because your toes are pointing down, the top knuckles of your shoes could possibly rub the top of the shoe. And because your knuckles are pointing up, and there could be rubbing, it could be a hot spot, it could be uncomfortable, but they created the knuckle box, and that gives it a little bit of room for your knuckles, your toe knuckles, to have space so it doesn't rub. It's wide enough, that feels really, really good. Again, the top of the shoe lays flat on my midfoot, or the top on my midfoot. I feel really good in the arches. I definitely feel like I have really, really good arch support. I love the strapping system, because the strapping system goes from inside to outside in, from inside the foot to outside of the foot. I feel like that is, let me put the other shoe on. I feel like that's awesome, because what that does is that it really pulls the shoe from both sides to lay flat on top of your foot. And I love that, and I totally dig that. Cool, yeah. These feel awesome, they feel great. My toes are doing what they should, they're wide enough. I feel like great arch support in them. The other thing that I feel is that the heel feels amazing. My heel is in there, there's actually no movement, I'm not getting any kind of movement in the heel, which is awesome, which is great, so that means that they're not gonna pop out. Very, very little dead space, that dead space that we expect from the connecting points. So I feel that, but my heel is in the heel cup really nicely. And they feel good, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting movement, right? I don't feel like there's any hot spots or anything like that. Yeah, these are great. I'm gonna take these shoes off because I feel like I'm pitching them way too hard, so I'm gonna get out of them. So I don't gush over how much I love these shoes. If I was not going to be wearing oracles, I would probably wear the Shamans, just because I love how comfortable they are, and I just love how they perform. Also, let me also tell you that, do you guys hear the rap? Yeah, somebody's playing music really loud. If you guys felt like this shoe was a little bit too wide, so you felt like the shoes themselves, that the base was a wide shoe, if you felt that, Evolv made something called the chakras, which still exist, and they're basically this shoe with a lower volume. So if you have a skinnier foot than normal, try the pair of chakras, because they're supposed to be not as wide, they're supposed to be lower volume. So I don't have that here as part of the selection of trying them on. Just know that the technologies that are in that shoe are the same technologies that are in this shoe. So I think I mentioned the love bump, the knuckle box, and then you also get this cushy tongue, which is great. So all of those things are gonna feel the same, but they're just not gonna feel as wide. So if you feel like you've got more of a narrow foot, then I would highly suggest the chakras, because every reviewer that tried the Shamans that loved them love the chakras more because they just fit their foot better because they're, you know, they have a narrow foot. So let's put these off to the side. The next shoe we have would be a new pair of oracles. You know what? Even though I tried those on, let me try these on just in case. You know, so here's obviously my old pair that I broke in. This is the new pair. They, you know, I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, so you can see how aggressive they are. Like, I obviously wore these down and they're a little bit flat. But let's try them on. Let's try them on just in case. Oh, yeah, perfect. Super, super perfect. Yeah, they feel really, really great. Everything that I would expect them, they basically feel freshy. So they feel like these. They just feel brand new. Let's just do a quick lace on one of them. Oh, even just pulling that like that. Oh, and then again, because of the FSS system that they have, like, it really does pull the bottom of the shoe or the shoe around your foot to support. So that's really great. I'm really excited about that. They always feel awesome. Yeah, they feel great. I love the way they feel. Yeah. So just as, you know, we'll do that as a quickie thing. Yeah, they feel awesome. I'm into it. Yeah, they feel awesome. They feel great. Let's take these off. You know what? Let's go into the Agros. So the Agros, I put in my climbing bag because when I got them before I got this pair of shoe, and these are Evolv's super steep. If you are going to be jumping on your like really hard boulder projects, like, this is the shoe that you would wear. Like, this is the, I've got a hard bouldering project, I've got a hard climb, and I need all the aggressive natures, all the aggressive technology, the aggressive nature of a climbing shoe, and this is what they came up with, and they're awesome. Like, they really do kick butt. They're a really good shoe. Again, first take, I'm feeling my toes in the front. They're falling perfectly. This is wide enough. But you know what? Even though it's wide enough, like, there's a little bit, there's like a lot. Not a lot, but it's a lot of material. But I'm definitely feeling like there's some like some air spots. Like the front of the shoe where my toes are to where the midfoot is. Like, I definitely feel like there's air pockets in there. Not detrimental, like, doesn't bug me. Like, I'm just aware that it's there. It's not uncomfortable. The arch feels awesome. So the lashing system, the Velcro system, basically goes from pulling the shoe across the top of your foot, and then it pulls from the arch and then back across. I feel really great arch support. So because it's pulling inside out to Velcro the strap in, because it's doing that, I feel like it is for sure giving me pretty good arch support. And I'm not saying that because it's doing that this side is lacking, because this side is definitely flush. So on my midfoot, it does feel flush against my foot. So it does hug. I'm not saying it doesn't, but more so because it pulls from the inside of the shoe. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Heel feels great. Heel goes directly into the heel cup. And then a little tiny bit of dead space. Heel's definitely in that shoe. It's definitely in there. It's not coming out. Feels awesome. No pinching, no rubbing. So far, just like the oracles and the shamans, like they fit great. Like no complaints about fit. Watch the Agro review that we did, because we talk about the shoes and we all have high praise for it. Like, it's a great shoe. Oh, somebody's trying to get into their car. Yeah, no, it feels great. It feels super awesome. I like these shoes. You should know, I normally take an 8.5, 9 in my shoes. So if I were to buy a pair of Nikes, I would buy like an 8.5 like tennis shoe to play tennis in. Why'd I say that? Of course it's gonna be, you know how people say tennis shoes, but it's like a general rule, like they're not playing tennis in it. But for when I play tennis, I'm buying like an 8.5 pair of Nikes. So my oracles are 9, my shamans are an 8.5, but I got these in a 9.5. So I got a full size higher than what I normally get. So, yeah. Let me check the cameras. All right, what's next? What should we try on next? Let's go for the big dogs. So this is going to be really fun and really awesome. I'm so excited for these. So these are the Evolv Phantoms, and you guys hear the police? A lot of action happening in my neighborhood today. Lots of action. These are the Evolv Phantoms. So alright, these are the Evolv Phantoms. The Evolv Phantoms are now officially Evolv's flagship bouldering shoe, climbing shoe. Whatever you want to do in them, these are gonna do them. I haven't done the review for them. I haven't obviously tried them on because they look freshy. Look super brand new. So that being said, they are they're their flagship premier shoe. They're supposed to be the highest performing Evolv shoe that they have. They also carry a premium price, I believe $185. But I'm so psyched for these because I remember putting on a ton of like demos. So when they were beta testing, I tried all the beta tests and they all felt really awesome. Oh, they feel so good. All right. You know what? They're not narrow. I'm not saying they're narrow, but they are easily not the Agros, not the oracles, and not the shamans. They are, I would easily say that they are thinner, meaning narrower, not narrow. They're not narrow shoes. They're not low volume shoes, but they are not as wide as the other three. Let's see if we can. Oh, they feel good. They definitely feel good. Toes are great. No rubbing of the toes. These are 9, so again, Shamans, I got in at 8.5. Agro's 9.5, and Oracle's in a 9. So that being said, I did not deviate, so it's still like really within my ballpark. Let's try the other shoe on. My first take is that, okay, front of the shoe, where my toes are in the toe box, they feel great in the toe box. My toes are doing what they should be doing. They're curling, or they're bending like the way they should bend. Oh God, they feel great. They are wide enough for my foot, but they're also not wide shoes. Or I'm not saying that the Oracles are wide shoes. I am saying that because of my medium wide foot, like I'm happy that they fit perfectly. I'm feeling okay, here's a sensation. The sensation is that if you guys notice, the shoe, when you strap them on, they go from outside of the foot to the inside to Velcro. And that is very, very different than the Agros. So the Agros went from the inside to outside, right? So when you pulled it, it went across to the outside of the foot. I definitely when I pull and I Velcro them in, I 100% feel like the top of the shoe is super, super flush, especially on the outside of my foot. Definitely feel that. Where I felt the arch support, or the arch pulling, that's probably a better way to say it. Where I felt like the shoe was being pulled from the arch on the Agros, and I got the little extra arch support there, I'm not feeling that in the Phantoms. I'm not saying that the Phantoms are lacking arch support, but because I can try both shoes side by side, and probably because the Velcro system is going outside in and not pulling my arch up, like that is the difference. Like I feel that as a difference. Will I care? No. Will it hinder my performance? No. Is it bothering me comfort-wise? No. But I did just try the Agros on, and the Agros definitely did go from, when I pulled on the Velcro strap, they did go from the inside of the shoe to the outside of the shoe, so it really did pull all of this material on the inside where my arch is over to pull towards the middle of the shoe. So the difference is that this shoe pulls outside in, this one pulls inside out, and it's just different sensations. Nothing detrimental about that whatsoever. You know what I am feeling though, is that, you know how I said that these had like a lot of material, a lot of fabric, a lot of like stuff around here? I'm not feeling that in the Phantoms. Like I squeeze the front of the shoe, and this is the bot. Like I could, like none of this underneath it is like dead air or unused space. Like this is my foot underneath there. You know what the Phantoms are? The Phantoms are the super, super streamlined version of maybe of what the Agros could have been. So where you think that the Agros kind of had like a ton of material and a ton of like, I want to say fabric, but really like, is rubber fabric? Yeah, of course rubber's fabric. A ton of rubber, like fabric. I don't feel that with the Phantoms. I feel like the Phantoms definitely 100% hug my foot, just like the Oracles and just like the Shamans. Like when you buy a climbing shoe, either aggressive or non-aggressive, you want your climbing shoe to feel like second skin. And the more it feels like second skin, the better you will be able to maneuver, to operate, to be precise. if you have a clunky shoe, like it's just going to be a clunky shoe. I'm not saying that these were clunky, but for sure, 100%, I definitely know that the Phantoms are going to be streamlined. They're a more streamlined shoe than the Agros. Yeah, they feel awesome. Heel check. Heel definitely in there. Like I don't feel like that it's gonna pop out. Yeah, nothing pinching as I roll my ankle. Yeah. Oh, you know what I am feeling is because it's a little bit narrow or narrower than my other shoes, because my foot is kind of folding in this way a little bit, I feel like the bottom of my sole is kind of like rolling onto each other. So like basically my foot is going into the shoe and it's kind of like coming in this way. I mean, this is an over exaggeration, but because of that, when I put the shoe on, I can feel like my skin rolling on top of each other on my sole, if that makes sense. So do I find it uncomfortable? No, not really. I just notice it. Again, that's like the great thing about doing the Evolv aggressive shoe try on verbal demo, is because I can talk about, you know, what I'm feeling as I'm wearing them to you guys. And hopefully this helps. Hopefully this is very helpful to you guys. It's just doing that. But also, you know what? Like I haven't climbed them. They're not broken in. They may, you know, they may break in and have like a different feeling. So, you know, whatever. You know, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Sure. Okay. There you go. That's a thing. Let's move on. These feel great. Like as I'm taking them off, let me just kind of say that these feel super, super awesome. They're gonna feel super slick when I'm bouldering. Like they're just gonna be streamlined. They're just gonna essentially be the Agros with less stuff. I think that's like the best way to put it. Best way to put it. You know what? I'm gonna try these on. I'm gonna try both of these shoes on. So this is the Kronos, and very, very simple shoe. It's, as you can tell, it's flat profile. Oh, so good. So good. Very easy shoe to put on and talk about. My feet are falling flat into the front. They're not bending, they're not doing anything, but they're at the very, very front of the shoe. Definitely wide enough. That feels really, really good. That feels really, really good. I definitely feel in the midfoot that everything's falling right on top. I am not feeling the same arch support that I am feeling in the other shoes, 100%. Probably because the shoe doesn't dictate that I need it. But if you love that feeling of like your arch being super supported in a shoe, there's going to be a difference between this shoe and those shoes. The difference between like an aggressive and not an aggressive. That feel. So this right here, there's a buckle. Like when I strap it, when I strap it on, I feel the buckle pushing against my foot. Does it bug me? Not one bit. But do I feel it? Yeah, I feel it. Will I forget about it 5-10 seconds after I stand up and walk to my boulder problem? We'll completely forget about it. Toe movement, heel movement. Oh, you know what? My heel is moving a little bit in this. I also feel like it's not as high. I feel like it's not as high. But that being said, this is not an aggressive bouldering shoe, right? Like this isn't meant for my foot to, you know, do the same heel hooking that the other shoes are. So there you go. There you go. These are great, super comfortable. Can't complain about them at all. Super great. And now I have a pair of Generals. I am totally blanking out, you guys. These are the Generals. The Generals are going to be great if you are going, if you're going to go trad climbing, if you're going to do some Joshua Tree stuff, or if you're going to do any like Yosemite stuff. If you guys take a trip out to Oregon and you go out to Smith, these are going to be great for that, because these, as you'll see, are a little bit higher on the ankle, right? So it gives you all that extra protection for your ankle when you're like shoving your foot into a crack, so that's going to be cool and that's going to be great. They also should be stiffer. Should be a stiffer shoe, because obviously if you're going to be doing that kind of climbing, you need a little bit more of a stiffer shoe than, for example, like a bouldering shoe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these feel awesome. So I tend to love 3/4 length or anything that covers my ankle. Again, coming from a tennis background, anything that is ankle supportive, I will fully support. Toes are right up front, like they should be. They're wide enough for my foot. The lacing system puts everything right on top of my midfoot. That feels great. I don't want to say the arch support is non-existent, because I definitely feel like there is like this rubber and this other rubber and probably the fabric underneath it, you know, like supporting right underneath my arch. But I don't feel like it's the FSS system where it is technology that is pulling the bottom of the shoe up and over to support my arch. I don't feel that. But you know, it's a flat shoe. It's meant to have this feeling and this sensation. I don't have any real complaints. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like this is, for this kind of shoe, this is going to be as good as it's going to get in terms of feeling like it's a second skin. Let's undo those laces a little bit. Yeah, these are great. Yeah. Yeah, these feel good. So I'm feeling they are 100% stiffer. 100%. I do feel that. I also feel in the shoe, you'll notice that this shoe is complete one sole from toe to heel, in comparison to like an Oracle where it's the front half and then the sole kind of ends, and then this is your arch, and it's like this two-piece construction. I definitely feel like it is a one piece and that it runs the entire length of my foot. It is 100% stiffer. Like, it definitely feels like a stiffer shoe. But I mean, like, I can't hate on it because it's you know, it's their job to feel stiffer. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, you guys. That was the lineup. Here's what I was missing. Obviously, I told you that I was missing the chakras because they didn't, like, obviously, I wouldn't wear that shoe because it's a low volume shoe, and I would have no need for it in my arsenal of shoes. The other shoe I was missing was the Zenist. Now, the Zenist I did grab. I did grab a Zenist. My only problem with that shoe was I got it in an 8.5, and I should have got it in a 9, 100%. So it is at Evolv's right now. I'm just gonna try these on again because, you know, it's gonna be easy. So they're at Evolv right now being stretched out. So hopefully when I get them back from Evolv, like, they will feel great. They're gonna feel awesome. So at 8.5 for the Zenist was just a little bit too much. Like, I was too uncomfortable in them. Like, I could have made them work, and I could have spent the time to break them in, of course. But, you know, I'm so used to a shoe being instantly comfortable right out the gate and me performing really high in them. All right. You know what? Okay, so back to the Kronos. I do feel like this buckle system right here, like, I definitely feel it again as I, like, strap them on. And the midfoot does feel like, as I put them on tight, I do feel like my foot's in there. I definitely, again, like, I don't feel the arch support. I don't know why I'm going over this again with you. And I definitely 100% feel like the heel, my heel fits, but I definitely would not say this would be the best heel hooking shoe for me, because I feel like my heel might pop out if I pull hard enough. Nah, they're not gonna pop out. They're not gonna pop out, but you can tell, like, there's a lot of play, right? That's a lot of play for me. So there's that, and then there's that. Ooh, like, so right there, you can see that that's my heel. All right, there you go. I tried those on a second time just to try them on. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for being part of this. Thanks for being part of my first Evolv aggressive shoe demo try-on verbal demo, or something like that. I really enjoyed doing that. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Or maybe you guys just enjoyed hearing me talk about, you know, me trying the shoes on. Maybe that was a thing. So be prepared for, I don't have a video of the Phantoms up. I'm gonna do that. I will obviously have a video of the Zenist once I get them back. And then I will have something for the Generals. Part of me feels like I want to do, like, I want to recap, like, I want to do a video of me and the Oracles again. Like, it'd be nice to do, like, a second review, like, you know how people will say, oh, okay, a year, they've done the original review, but then they've climbed in them, or they've, you know, motorcycle. They've obviously climbed in them, or they held onto the product for a year and then they do a second review. I think I'd like to do that. I'd like to do one of those reviews where they revisit a review that they made previously. So yeah, that is it. Like, subscribe, notifications, all those things. Not necessary, but I'll be honest, like, it's really nice that you guys do. If you guys like all of this, I've never been a hard seller, but I hear that it helps the channel if you guys do those things. So if you enjoyed any of this, even a little bit, just push or, you know, like, click those buttons or whatever, because I would really, really appreciate it. And that's it. I am sorry if I had chia seeds from my smoothie as I'm talking to you. I'll find out if I'm going to. And that is it. Thanks, you guys. I really love talking to you. I really like that I'm coming back to this now that quarantine's over. And I really, really look forward to hearing from you guys. You know what? If you see me at any of the Orange County, any of the Southern California gyms, come and chat with me. You know, like, I'm very, very happy to meet all of you, and I'll be honest, like my friend Jake and I are friends mainly because he watched my videos and then he came up to me at our gym and started talking to me, and now we're good buddies. So don't feel afraid to chat with me or any of the other people on the team, which is now defunct, so I'm gonna see if I can build a new team. Because and I'm sure the rest of them would love to chat with you. All right, you guys take care. I love talking to you, and I look forward to doing it again. Bye, you guys.